Steve Jobs wasn't born a billionaire. He didn't finish college. He didn't always have a clear path. But what he did have was belief in himself, in his vision, and in the idea that things would somehow work out. In 2005, standing in front of Stanford graduates, he shared 3 simple stories from his life. No big motivational quotes, no fancy vocabulary, just real experiences that hit deep. And honestly, those stories still matter today, maybe more than ever. Because in a world full of pressure, expectations, and uncertainty, his words feel like a wake-up call to just live life on your own terms. He started with the story about connecting the dots. He dropped out of college, not because he didn't care, but because he didn't want to waste his parents' money on something he couldn't see value in. But he didn't stop learning. He stayed on campus, slept on friends' floors, and followed his curiosity. One day, he sat in a calligraphy class. No logic, no plan. He just found it beautiful. That class, which seemed useless at the time, later became the reason why Mac computers had such beautiful fonts. He said, "You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward." That one line says it all. Sometimes, we don't know why we're going through something. Sometimes life feels like a mess. But one day, when we look back, it all starts to make sense. The good days, the failures, the pain, it all adds up. So don't stress if your path isn't clear right now. Trust that it's leading somewhere meaningful. Then came his second story, love and loss. He started Apple in his parents' garage at just 20. By 30, he was fired. Yes, fired from his own company. Imagine building something from scratch, pouring your soul into it, and then being pushed out. That kind of pain could break anyone. But Steve said it gave him a fresh start. It took away the pressure of success and brought back the feeling of being a beginner. That freedom led him to start Next and buy Pixar. Both were huge in their own ways. In fact, Apple later bought Next, and that's how Steve came back. So, what looked like a major failure actually led to one of the most powerful comebacks ever. He reminded us that sometimes life will hit you hard, but don't lose faith. Keep doing what you love, because when you love what you do, it gives you the strength to stand back up, no matter how badly life knocks you down. The third story was the most powerful one, death. In 2003, Steve was diagnosed with cancer. At first, it looked like he had just a few months to live. That kind of news changes everything. Suddenly, the small things don't matter. The noise fades. What's left is what truly matters: your dreams, your passions, your time. He said, "Remembering you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." That's deep, because we live like we have forever, but we don't. Every single day is a gift. We keep waiting for the perfect time, the right mood, the full plan. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. Life is short. You don't need permission. You don't need a guarantee. You just need to start. Whatever it is you've been thinking about doing, start. Because waiting might cost you more than trying ever will. At the end of his speech, Steve Jobs gave one final message. Just 4 words, but they hit harder than anything else. He said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." What does that mean? It means never get too comfortable. Always stay curious. Keep that hunger to learn, to grow, to create. And stay foolish enough to dream big, to take risks, to believe in ideas that others think are crazy. That's how real change happens. That's how Apple happened. That's how Pixar happened. And that's how your own success can happen, if you stay hungry and foolish. So what can we really learn from Steve Jobs? You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't even need to be the smartest person in the room. What you need is belief. Belief in yourself, in your journey, in the power of bouncing back. Trust your gut. Follow your curiosity. Don't be scared to fail. And whatever happens, don't stop creating. Don't stop building. And don't stop chasing what matters to you. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how many degrees you have. It's not about how much money you make. It's about whether you really lived your life, whether you used your time well, whether you left something behind that made the world a little better. That's the legacy of Steve Jobs, and that can be your legacy too. This is Crown Achiever. Real stories, real lessons, and real motivation to help you build a life worth living. If this message inspired you, don't forget to share it. Someone out there needs to hear this today. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. Stay achieving.